Please, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I can.
So, just like he said, I'll be taking you through the step-by-step guide to content writing, like how you can write different content types from the scratch. In our outline, we have what makes a piece of content shine, how you can write original content, and lastly, understanding your tone, your writing tone and voice. So simply put, we've been hearing this phrase, content writing. In simple words, what is it all about? So according to this definition, content writing is simply the process of writing, editing, and publishing content in a digital format. I believe everyone on this call tonight, at least we have some decent writing skills. That's why we signed up for this training. So any writing you are doing on a digital format, whether it's on social media, whether it's on a website, whether it's an email, all that form of writing fall under content writing. So now, our first outline says what makes a piece of content shine. If you check online for a topic as simple as how to prepare pancakes, you discover that you find millions of results on the on Google, but only a few can make it to the first maybe 2 or 3 pages. And the reason for that is that most of them have these 8 elements. So the first element for a stellar content is a magnetic headline or title. So for your content to stand out from the crowd, for it to stand from the crowd of content out there, it must have a magnetic headline. Your headline must be powerful to spur the reader to let me just know what all this content is all about. And remember that your headline is the first thing your reader will see. So if you want your audience to read your content, then your headline must be powerful. And one of the ways you can achieve that is to use numbers. Before, there are so many debates like, okay, odd numbers are more powerful than even numbers. Okay, some school of thought will say make the number short. You can do like 7 or 15. But there are content with headlines like up to 200. You have 200, the numbers will be up to 200, and they are doing well. They are ranking well. So it's up to you to decide the number you want to use. And at times, you may not even use number. So another thing is to use trigger words. You can also use adjective. Apart from that, you can personalize the headline or the title. You can include you or your. You can say your perfect guide to preparing the perfect pancakes. Another thing is that you can include emotional words like proving, like guaranteed, like easy. Also, you can use evidence. You can back it up with data. Using data in your headline also works. So I want to show us an example of a content with a good headline. So while that is loading, let's continue with how to make your headline powerful. If you are writing an headline, you can introduce a problem and also include a solution. You can also, and when you are writing your headline, ensure that you use active voice. Make your headline easy to understand. And please remember this rule. Don't make false claims. Avoid lies. Because at the end of the day, when your audience discover that what's the claim you are, whatever you are claiming, like whatever you are claiming is a lie, you will lose trust. Please give me a moment. So once they discover that whatever you are saying in your headline is a lie, you will lose trust. And if you are working for a brand, that brand too will lose trust. So lastly, make sure that you use the right lens, like the right character, and it can be around 60 to 100 characters. So let's take a look at this example. So this post is from um, Neil Patel. Listening. And he said, what is social listening and how to do it? So we'll be using this article as a case study. The next thing we'll be looking at is, after the headline, we are looking at your introduction. So once you are done with your headline, you need a compelling introduction. This introduction will encourage your readers to dig more. It will make them to, it will spark curiosity, like, what is this content all about? And the thing is that this introduction is not compulsory you write it once you start writing your content. No. Most time when I write, I don't write my, I don't, introduction is not the first thing I write. I So the next thing is to include relevant keywords. And apart from this elements, you need to focus on best practices. And this best practice, what may work last year may not work for this year. So some of these best practices is that you need to do keyword research, and you learn more about SEO. Do SEO, you need to do keyword research. You must place your keyword headings in your introduction, in the body of the content. So another thing is to include data from credible sources. It's not just to write a content and just feel like, okay, your audience will understand. It's not enough. You need to include data. And when you include data, make sure that you double check. Because as your readers, as your audience, as they read the content, they may want to confirm, follow the link, like, is this true? Is this claim, is this really true? And once they discover that it doesn't add up, they may leave. So you need to include data from credible sources. And another thing that doing this taking this step, another thing that it does is that it makes you look credible to your audience. So our next element is to include engaging visuals. Make your content visually rich. So in this example we are looking into tonight, you can, if you notice, you will see that the author included um, visuals. There are screenshots, There are graphs. I think there are graphs too. So you can vary it. And when it comes, okay, there's another visual here. So you can either create your visuals from the scratch. Thank you, sir. So you need to include visuals. And when you are using visuals, you can't just carry any picture from Google, add it to your content. The owner of the picture can sue you. So there are now AI tools to create visuals. The feature is on Canva, and apart from that, you can use there are some sites that provide pictures, like they are royalty free. So the next thing you need to include is call to action. When you're writing a piece of content, you need to know the particular action you want your readers to take, and it can be more than one. Just make sure that you don't overload them with call to actions, and make that CTA, the CTA, make it as clear as possible. Readability, I said you need to make your content easy to read. You need to format it. So the bold, italics, numbering, bulletproof points, all that feature, you need to know when and how to use them. So apart from that, your H1 to H3 headings, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, use it. And another thing is to use plenty of white space. Plenty of white space make your content easy to read. So I want to show you what white space, what it's all about. So you see all these spaces that are blank, there's nothing there. So this is what white spaces is. So with this, you can see that we can easily scan through the content. So apart from white spaces, the next thing you need to do is to use short paragraphs. Make your paragraphs short, and remember that you need to consider mobile users when you are writing. So use short paragraph, use simple words. You don't need to use big grammar so that you sound smart. Simple words work best, so that your audience won't be carrying dictionary. You don't need to carry a dictionary to understand the meaning of what you are saying. So lastly, to improve your readability, make sure that you use tools. And one tool that one of the tools I don't joke with is Grammarly. Grammarly is a very handy tool. I have the extension installed on my Chrome. I also have the app. So anytime I'm working, the thing is there. So lastly, the last element we'll be looking into tonight is a thought-provoking conclusion. And what's the essence of including conclusion in your content? It will help you to wrap things up. You wrap up the whole point. It also gives closure to the reader. You won't leave them hanging. And lastly, it will provide the reader with something to take away. So when it comes to getting relevant keywords, the top keyword research tools include Google Keyword Planner, Ahrefs, Answer the Public, Google Trends, ChatGPT, and Uber Suggest. All these tools are easy to use. They are easy to use. You just need to set up your accounts and take advantage of them. So that's that about the elements for a stellar content. So the next thing we are looking at tonight is how to write original content from the scratch, from scratch rather. So the first thing, okay, when it comes to creating original content, just like I said earlier, if you check for a particular topic, even okay, how to create original content, as simple as that. If you search for it online, you see that there are so many informations. But if you want to write yours, how can you make your own content? How can you make it to stand out? So I want to share. Okay, somebody said I should list the apps here so that you can have them. The app is already on the, if you are referring to the top keyword research tools, is already in the slide. Everything is on the slide, and this is not everything. There are others, so these are just some you can work with. So the first thing,
Please,
the first suggestion.
you can flash that again for them so
Okay,
you can take
okay.
notes. Let's just
So
skip that.
please, let's take note of that before we proceed.
Okay, I think we can go on now.
Okay, thank you. So the first suggestion I have here is that you can is to revamp old content. Perhaps you have an existing piece of content. You know, some contents are evergreen. They will still be relevant for years to come, but some of the information in it is outdated. So you can delve into revamping it. So I'm trying to look for an example here. So for instance, now if I say, if in 2020 I wrote about how to maybe like 5 tech trends in 2020, and you know that was in the post pandemic era, so a lot of things have changed regarding um tech trends. So I now need to go back to that content. I need to go back to that content and update it. So, oh, please give me a moment. So I can just go to that content and update it to what is relevant, to what my audience need to read. So I'm sharing an example here. So in this content, I wrote about exploring the recent growth of lifestyle influencers. So and this content it was written in 2021. A lot of things has happened in the influencer world now. A lot of changes has happened. TikTok influencers they are now on the rise. The strategies that work in 2021, they are not, most of them are no longer relevant now. So I can decide to revamp this content. And another example is this one from ZNet. They wrote about top 10 technology trends in 2020 and 2021 that are here to stay. So here they talk about artificial intelligence, and a lot has happened in within 4 years about AI. Now generative AI is the hey thing. So I can just come to this topic and revamp it. So I hope we get that. There are other trends, but time will not permit us to just go into everything. So the next tip is to broaden the scope of an existing topic. So if I come across a content that says, okay, maybe the content is narrow, maybe it's about why creatives should embrace artificial intelligence. That content is narrow, so I can decide to include some trending AI tools and the link to download them. So that's another angle. Or I can decide to say, okay, some mistake to avoid when using this kind of oh, sorry, I've not switched to the slide. I'm so sorry about that. So the next one is broaden this. We are in number 2, broaden the scope of an existing topic. So instead of just writing about the why creatives should use AI tools, I can decide to add that the mistake they need to avoid. So the next tip here is to add more depth. So with that, I can do my research, add more data, or maybe there's a inside that post, maybe there is a section or a topic or something I mentioned, and I've written a content about it before. I can link into it, or someone else wrote something rather. I can also include the link just to add more depth, make it more data rich. So the number 4 point is to interview your target audience. So if you already know your audience, you already know who they are and other characteristics about them, you can just reach out to them, interview them, and you don't even need to do that like one on one. You can just throw out a question to them on social media and they will respond. So you can interview them, know their pain points, know their challenges, know how you can serve them better. The next tip is to interview experts. You can interview thought leaders, and you may not even interview them directly. You can just maybe use their quotes, something they've said in the past, include it into your content, and make sure you link back to the original post. And lastly, you can fill the gaps in your competitors' content. You can study your competitors, analyze their content, and look at what they are missing. Is there something they are doing that you can do better? So that is another way to create original content. And all these tips I mentioned, you can just lump like 3 or 4 together in a single post, and it will take time for you to perfect that art anyway. So it's not compulsory that you just pick number 1 and run with it. So you can add like 1 and 2, one number, the first 2 tips, or just do it randomly, and you have original content. So now that we are done with that, let's quickly take a look at the step-by-step writing process. And tonight, before we end this class, we are going to do have a small practical. So writing content is not just you just sit down, go to Google, just research everything, lump everything together, and your content is ready, or you ask AI to write for you. I'm not against using AI tools. Every writer should embrace them, but there is a way you go about it. You just don't rely on it totally. If you rely on AI totally, what's the beauty in it? There is no creativity in that. Or you can you can also leverage them in your writing. So the first thing I have here is planning. So this planning, you need to sit down and determine that what is the purpose of this content you want to write. What goal do you want to achieve with it? Do you want your audience, do you want to inform them? Do you want to excuse me, do you want to encourage them to make a purchase? There are so many goals you can achieve with content. And the next thing is that you must define your audience. And that means taking a look into their demographic and psychographic traits. So you need to consider their factors like age, gender, income, their marital status, education, location, and the likes. And another thing is that you need to consider search intent, and that means that why are they performing this particular search? And the reason the search intent, it can be information, and maybe they are looking for information, they want to learn more about a particular topic. The search intent can be transactional, it can be commercial. Maybe they have the plan to buy later, but they just want to get to know more. It can also be navigational. So after you are done with planning, then you need to move to researching. You must research about what you want to write. And when it comes to researching, Google is not the only tool you can use to research. And even with that Google, some people don't even know how to use Google to research, as accessible, as simple as it is. So you need to research your content. And when we are at the stage of planning, when you are doing when you are studying your target audience, getting to know them, you can get content topic ideas from that stage. So you need to research topic ideas. So I have some tools here to find fresh content ideas. So apart from Google, we have Quora, we have Reddit, we have social media platforms. So all these things that are here, you get to know what people are really saying about that topic, what is really trending. So on social media platforms, you can use keywords, you can use hashtags, you can even go into comments, the comment section, your own comment, your brand comment section, the brand you are working for, or your competitors comment section. There are tons of ideas there. You can also use YouTube. Another tool is Google Search Console. We also have content topic generators. We have customer reviews too. You can find ideas from customer reviews. And even your day-to-day activities, when you relate with your friends, your family, your colleague, if you keep your mind open, you can get tons of content ideas.
Okay, so she's back, and before she takes over, don't forget what I've already told you. The foundation of writing a content is understanding the search intent, which she has just told you. Now, when you have understood the search intent, that search intent informs you on the way you would write the content. That is the planning now. When you've understood the intent, you can now plan to say, oh, with this knowledge of the search intent, this content will need 1,000 words. This content will need a lot of image. This content will need video or what have you. So you have now understood that planning process. The next step you're now going to do is researching. So since she's online, I would let her take over from here. And so she'll continue from where she Ma, you can take over.
So I'm so sorry about the network issue. So we'll just pick up from where I stopped. So I was talking about researching your content, how you can research content, and I listed some tools you can use to research your content. So how you can find fresh content ideas. So I mentioned Quora, Reddit, social media platforms, YouTube, Google Search Console, content topic generators, and customer reviews. So once you are done with your research, the next step to take is to create an outline. So when you are creating the essence of creating an outline is to provide a logical structure, and it will help you to streamline the entire content writing process. So to do that, make sure that you list your main points, the sub points, and those points will be converted to your headings and subheadings. And you can also determine what will be your intro and conclusion. It's also up to you to decide that, okay, I'm not I'll do that once I'm done with writing the content. So there are some content outline generators, and one of them is from Sofa. It's called Sofa AI content outline generators. It's an AI. So if you don't want to create your outline manually, so once you are done with creating your outline, then you start writing. So when it comes to writing your content, don't focus on making sure that your content is 100% the no is free of grammatical or other types of error. Just write, let it, because if you keep that at the back of your mind, you won't focus. It will stifle your creative process. You won't be able to flow. So don't focus on about, oh, perfection, I want my content to be perfect. No, just write freely. When you are done writing, you have ample time to proofread and edit your content. And there are I once in a while I still battle with this thing called imposter syndrome. Like, maybe if a content approach me that, okay, write this topic for me, maybe it's a terrain that I'm not familiar with, I may feel like, how do I write this thing? What will I write? When that thing set in, I'll just feel like, I've written complex content in the past and I nailed it. I can do this now. I'll look at my past victories. And in my mind, I'll have this mindset that I've already done it, and the client will be impressed. I'll visualize how I want the content to be. So if you just keep allowing that fear to cripple you, or writer's block, you won't achieve anything. Just write. Even if you start with nonsense, just write. Have this growth mindset. So once you are done with your writing, make sure that you proofread and edit. Dot your i's, cross your t's. And even if you are working for a firm and there's an in-house editor, please don't be a lazy writer. Edit your work. Don't leave everything to your editor. It will show that you take this writing seriously. And for proofreading and editing, I've mentioned some tools. I use Grammarly, I use Pro Writing Aid, I use Anyway Editor. All these tools are available. The free version, you can even do a lot with it without moving to the premium version. So once you are done with proofreading and editing your content, then move to publishing it or sending it to the publisher or to the editor and reviewing it. If you have access to it, you can review it from time to time. Maybe there are some changes you need to make, maybe some information you need to update. Then you need to do that. So before we delve into our practical, let's take a look at understanding content writing tone and voice. Oh, before we do that, I want to show us how to write some types of content, like how to listicle, some things you need to know. So the first thing we'll be looking at is how you can write an how-to article, and I'll be sharing example for each. So we'll just quickly take a look at it. So when you want to write an how-to, okay, let me just go through the tips, and when we are done with that, we'll just quickly share the I will quickly share the example. So how-to articles, they are instructional in nature. They will give you an instruction how you can go from point A to point B. So I believe at this point the network is perfect. We don't have any issue with it. So when you are writing an how-to article, most of the time it's a step-by-step guide. And when you are writing this type of article, you need to adopt a helpful and assertive tone. Yes, you are giving them instruction, you are giving them tips, but you don't need to sound condescending. Like, "Oh, okay, I'm just helping you. I am helping your destiny." No, don't sound condescending. And you must be sure of what you are saying. Please avoid wrong information. Don't add wrong information, and be sure that the tips can work. Make sure that the tips are foolproof, and just make sure you double check. It must follow a logical flow from A to Z. So the next type is listicle. So before you decide that you want to write that kind of content, make sure that the topic makes sense in a list format, because there are some content that they don't, if you use this type of approach, it will not work. It will not work. So make sure that this type of content makes sense in list format. And once you've confirmed that, add key takeaways. After that, please use numbers, because we are saying is a list. It can be 10 proven ways, it can be 21, it can be 7, it can be 5, it can be 3. So make sure use numbers, and don't be stuck to a particular numbers. But when you are writing your outline and you notice that maybe like 2 or 3 lists, 3 headings, they can be lumped up together, you can just decide it so that the list can be shorter. Or maybe some are not even relevant, or they will not even be helpful, you can just discard those ones. And another thing is that your listicle must have a logical structure. So all the tips I've shared before, like this step-by-step process, writing process, it works for most of this type of article. The next thing we'll be looking at is technical writing. And this type of writing, they are easy to understand. They are easy to understand technical documentation to explain complex processes for user or for customers. And it can be for team. So they can also be, they can come in form of a step-by-step instruction. They can be a frequently asked page. It can be case studies, and it can also be a press release. So the next thing you need to note is that you must use simple language. When you use simple language, you can use examples too. And remember to understand your audience, know the type of people you are writing for. So the next type of content is product description. When you are writing a product description, please First and foremost, prioritize your customers. When you've done that, make sure that you address their pain points. What are the challenges they are facing? When you take care of that, convert the features of your products, convert them into benefits. How can they help your customers? Make sure that your copy is well detailed. And when it comes to product description, use the right length. You also need to make sure that you include call to action. What action do you want them to take? And it can vary. So lastly, you can also add social proof, maybe like a screenshot of a comment or a customer review or a testimonial. So the last type we are looking at tonight is a press release. So press releases, they are just the type of content that businesses and organizations, they use it to share news or information with the media or the general public. And the goal of this type of content is to gain media coverage. So when it comes to writing a press release, make sure that you choose a target audience. Who are your audience? And when you've done that, find the perfect angle to write. So when you've taken care of that, focus on the 5 W's. And the 5 W's include that: what is the news all about? Who is involved? Who are the people that matters? When is the thing going to happen? When is the event going to happen? Where will it happen? And why? Why should people be concerned? So focus on that, on those 5 W's. So when you are done with that, make sure that the key information you want to share is in the first paragraph, and your press release should be around maybe 3 to 5 paragraphs with supporting details. Everything should be within a single page. You should not exceed that to the next page. And when you are writing a press release, it's not the best time to start experimenting. You need to follow the format. So most time you need to add the company information. So we'll quickly take a look at the different type of content one by one. So I'll quickly share that. So please, can everyone see my screen now? This is the first example. This is how to become an influencer. This is an example of how to become an influencer on LinkedIn. So this is just how it works. So here, if you notice, they didn't use any bullet points, they didn't use numbers. So the whole idea is just listed there. So and at times, this how-to type of content, it's your content need to follow a logical sequence. So the next one we are looking at is a listicle.
Hello, Mark. Can we scroll to the end of the how-to content just for
Okay,
reference purposes before we move to the next?
okay. So let me just scroll to the end. So those are the helpful tips. So this is the recap is the conclusion. So that's that about how to article. So the next one we'll be looking at is a listicle. So in the title is actually 12 tips to have a good work-life balance. But the author ended up using how to again. So let's quickly take a look at it. So what does work-life balance mean? After writing the introduction, why is it important? So you can see how the author keeps making the whole content broad. What's an unhealthy work-life balance, what it looks like, signs of an unbalanced work-life dynamic. Now this is even the main point, how to improve work-life balance. Here are 12 tips. So you see how the content is numbered from 1 to 12. So this content is an in-depth, is a broad content. Even after listing the tips, the author went to 7 ways manager can support their employees' work-life balance. So this content has a high chance of ranking well in search engine results page. So this is the conclusion. Find and maintain a healthy work-life balance. So this is where the author tied everything together. So for our next example, we'll look at after the listicle, we'll be looking at technical writing, an example of technical writing. So we have one here. This one is from these products, some product manuals from LG. So if you click any of this link, it will take you to to their page. These are their manuals. So if you click any of this link, it will take you to the page. So I don't know why this thing is not loading. So I think I have another example here. So this is just just like I said, technical writing, it can come in user manual. It's taking time to load. So let's just move to the next example. We will be taking a look at products, an example of products description. Let's take a look at product description. So this is from like an home improvement brand. So they are talking about this cushion. So this is the description. This description is well detailed. And if you click this button, you see the features and details rather. So from the description, everything you need to know about the cushion is there. Like the products are handcrafted. So for the product description, I'll need to download the manual to read. So with that, I just believe we have an understanding about how content technical writing works. So we have the description of this cushion here. The cushion is silky soft, and so on and so forth. We have, for the features and detail, we have the size, we have the dimension, we have the type of material, we have the country of origin. If I'm ready to buy it, I have the shipping and returns, everything. Even they have courses they support. So you'll be like, wow, this brand, they even support some courses. So if I'm creating this page, I can decide to add social proof like testimonials or other things. So our next example and our last example for tonight is a press release from Airtel. So we'll be looking at the press release from Airtel. So this is just an example of a press release. And you can see that there is no number, there is no section, no other headings. It's just one page like that, just in paragraphs. And even they even quoted maybe the chief commercial officer. They quoted him. So you see how the paragraphs are short, just straight to the point. So that's how a press release, that's how it looks. So before we go into our practical, let's quickly take a look at how we can understand content writing tone and voice. Mr. Richard, please kindly help me share the slide from your hand so that I can stop sharing here.
Okay,
Thank
I'll
you.
do that now.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, stop sharing yours so that I can take
Okay, done. So just like our voice, just like the way we speak, our writing also has voice and tone. So when it comes to when it comes to our voice, let me just relate it to that. Maybe you entered somewhere and you just speak. People that know you will be like, oh, this is so. This is Joshua. This is Sheyi. So with your voice, they can recognize you. So when it comes to content writing, your voice and tone matters a lot, and it will influence your writing to a great extent. So let's quickly take a look at what writing voice and the writing tone is about. So when it comes to writing voice, it reflects your personality. You can have a high pitch, you can have a low pitch. So, but when it comes to writing tone helps you to express that personality. Writing tone reflects your mood. You know, the way you talk when you are happy is different from when you are sad. It's different from when you want to talk to someone that is going through some challenges. So, it varies. You can modulate it. When it comes to writing voice, your writing voice it never changes, just like your voice. It can crack, but it will still come back to the normal thing. But when it comes to writing tone, it can change based on the situation. Writing a writing voice helps to forge connection on a deeper level with your target audience. On the other hand, the writing tone helps your readers to understand the type of emotion you are trying to convey. So when you write for a brand, you can ask for their style guide to understand their writing voice and writing tone better. But in a situation that they don't have a style guide, what you can do is that you can just go through their old content. When you analyze them, you'll be able to understand better. Or you can go to their social media or any content they've written in the past. Or you can ask the team questions. So to improve your writing voice and your writing tone, there are some things you can do. So one of the things you can do is that you need to understand the difference between a writing voice and a writing tone. When you've now understood the differences, then the next step you need to do is to be aware of your own. What is your own writing voice? Can you define your writing voice? And what's your writing tone? And lastly, the one of the effective way to improve your both your writing voice and writing tone is to keep working on it, keep perfecting it, keep writing. So in the next slide, I said something that there is no originality in replicating someone else's writing style. Developing a unique style takes time. So you need to tap into your creativity and allow yours to evolve. Don't be so fixated that, oh, I want to write like so so and so. Yes, this person writes well. You want to write like Mr. Richard, or you want to write the way I do. No, no, no. Don't focus on that. Be determined to improve your own writing style, and with time it will get better. So let's quickly go into our practical for tonight, and I'll need in the comment, I need some suggestion, a few suggestion on what we can write about, please.
All right, so let's help her. We need to do the practical. Sorry, Bola, let me just emphasize on your behalf.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so
It's a pleasure.
here's a practical session. Don't forget what this class is about. This class is about how to write a content step by step, right? She talked about 4 different types of content: the how-to content, the technical content, and she talked about the product descriptions, right? So technical writing, product description. So here is a time where she's going to now show you practically. She's going to share her screen and walk you through her own process of writing content from the scratch. So what she's going to be needing is somebody just suggests a content topic, whatever topic you think, right? She's going to pick that topic and then we will walk through that process here in class. So this is a practical class. Remember, I told you guys that we're building up some stuff before we give the main stuff. So all these things she was explaining is relevant for you to understand before we get to this point of the practical, so that it doesn't become too strange, because we're assuming that some people, or we're trying to accommodate people who do not even have that foundational knowledge. So if you do know a little bit of all those parts she was talking about, don't feel bored. There's always still something to learn. So please, in the comment section, let's do that quickly. Leave suggestions of a topic we can work on ASAP so that she can take it up from there. Okay, I think we have a suggestion already, Bola. This person say how to write a compelling story that resonates. So we can use that example and then do the practical. Hello, Bola, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I just realized that I muted my screen, my
Okay.
mic, so
Yeah.
I can hear you now. So we can go with that. How to write a compelling story that resonates. Okay. So I said I will be sharing my screen.
Okay, so take it off from here.
Okay.
So please, step by step, please pay keen attention. Pay keen attention. This is the foundation. If you do not know these things, you can't even get into writing SEO contents that stick. So follow her and let's get this done. So thank you.
Okay, so just to make things simple, I'm working directly on Google Docs. So the topic is how to write content that resonates. So I'll just add how to write content, how to write a compelling story that resonates with your audience. So how to write a compelling story that resonates with your audience. So that's my title. Audience. Good. So in this my Google Docs, I have Grammarly extension already installed. So let me just highlight everything and apply title. Let me align it to the center, make it bold because it's a title. So because we don't have much time, we'll just go with this heading. But if you are writing on your own, you can decide to tweak it later. So how to write a compelling story that resonates with your audience. So for our 2 tonight, I'll be using Google. I'll just use Google. If you can remember, we have other tools, but I'll just focus on Google for my research. So the first step I mentioned was planning. And when it comes to planning, I need to determine the purpose of this content. So what goal do I want to achieve? So right now, I just want to educate them. I want to inform them. I am writing a step-by-step guide. So after the determining my purpose, who are my audience? My audience are mostly aspiring writers, or maybe content writers too, that want to infuse storytelling into their craft. So after that, the search intent, I've already said it is information. I'm just trying to share information. They are not buying anything. I'm not trying to market anything. So I need to just provide um, to create, to do my research so that I can create an outline. So let me just use Google. I'll share the screen shortly. So, and if you are writing this type of content, you need to do keyword research. So time will not permit me tonight. So I'll just say how to write a compelling content. I've already chosen my content topic. I'm just looking for resources, stuff to write about. So these are some pages, these first pages. And when you are doing your research, make sure that whatever resources you are using is current. Don't go and use content from 2020. Although they may still be relevant, but at times you have to be time sensitive. So this one is from Pro Blogger. How to write a compelling story. Sorry, not content. Compelling story. Yes. So there are so many suggestions for me here, even from Reddit. And I mentioned that you can get content topic ideas on Reddit. So this is from Medium. Let's check it out. Check out the page. How to write clear, succinct, compelling story. How to write a compelling story from writers.com. Let's check that out too. At times, it's not necessarily necessary you choose from the first pages, but at times too, the kind of information you are looking for is from the first page. And you don't need to rely on Google alone. So let me just take three pages so that we'll just quickly take a look at it. So this is the first one. Let me just share this tab. Storytelling 101, three principles of crafting compelling story. So we already know that we have three main principles here. So I'll just scan through. This person started their introduction. So unfortunately, I can't proceed. I won't be able to use this content. So we'll just move to the next page. Okay. How to write a compelling story. This one is from writers.com. So let's just walk through it. So this is the introduction. So when I'm writing my content, if I want it to be a long form content for this type of article, I can include the element of a compelling story first. So the first tip here is the paradox of originality. The next one is basic plot for a compelling story. So some examples, some case studies they were treated here, like three examples. The new neighbor. So many examples here. So how to write a plot twist. How to write an interesting story with writers.com. So we already have our points here. So let me just take maybe one or two from here. So this how to write this paradox of originality is just an heading. It's not part of the tips. So I can in my content I can also talk about originality. So let me just go and note it in my originality. So I'll know that I'm writing about this originality. Originality. So we have some points here. We have some basic plots from this wayfarer. We have exposition, we have rising action, we have climax, we have falling action, we have resolution. But I'm looking for something that is easy. So let me just try and check this next that everyone can just relate with. So let me just check this next article. This is the introduction. So this one is just straightforward. The first one is that don't write for other people. The second one is think about why you have this vision. The third one is stuff has to happen. The fourth one is your main characters need a perspective shift. The last one is you must be willing to revise. So before we proceed, let me just see if we can just check out another page just to get more resources. So I'm trying to So let me just share this last one. How to write clear, succinct, and compelling story. Let's see the tips they have here. Strip your story down to basics. Lean on number and case studies. Imagine scenes. in different ways. Avoid lazy writing. There are some quick tips to write your headlines and sub-heading first. We know that one. Write from memory, emulate, speak or read it loud. Make your verbs work. So this one is just short and is simple. So let's just take some few points here. So when you are writing your own article, you just need to sit and digest. So I'm just looking for some points. Strip your story down to basics. Okay. So when I'm writing my own point, I'm not going to write this exact thing. Strip your story down to basic. So I can just say, focus on basic sentences. So let me go with that. And that one may not be my first point. So this one, focus on basic sentences. And by the time I'm writing, I'll be writing in my own words. And if I even have any knowledge, prior knowledge, or I have a background in this type of niche, it will be easy for me to flow. I won't rely on all these points alone. So another thing is lean on numbers and case studies. Okay, how do I put it in a better way, in my own way? Lean on numbers and case studies. So I can say rely on data. So let me just go with that. Rely on data. So I can reshuffle the points so that it will make sense. So the next point, wait, did I even share this last? Okay. Lean on number and case study. So let me just, the next one, imagine scenes in different way. So how do I present this in a better way? You can say invite people into your world instead of saying imagine scenes in a different way.
Sorry, Bola, I don't know which of the screen you're sharing.
Is this
But
same
we
one,
can,
this current one?
okay, where you have imagine scenes in different.
Yes, this one, how to write clear, succinct and compelling stories.
I was thinking you were making notes in a, you were taking
Oh,
notes
yes,
about
yes,
it.
yes, I'll do that now.
We're not seeing,
I'll do that now.
we're not seeing the notes.
I'm
Okay.
so sorry about that. I'll be switching in between the tabs, the screen rather. Um so I said imagine scenes in different ways. I now want to rephrase it into um invite people into your world. So let me just put that here. Invite people into your world, or make your world inviting. Make your I need to start each point in caps. Make your world inviting. So let me just, instead of just staying here, let me move to another resource, another page. Let me share this tab. So this one is the secret to write to compelling stories revealed. So what does she have to say? Don't write for other people. So what she's just trying to say is that you are the only one with the vision. So if you say write for yourself, it will be controversial. So let's just try that. But it's not every time you spark controversy. So let me just put it here, like write for yourself. So write for yourself. Okay. So we'll just focus on these 2 pages for tonight. So she said, don't write for other people. What else can we talk about? Think about why you have this vision. Let's keep that. The third one is stuff has to happen. And we have just 3 points here. So stuff has to happen. What if we say make things happen with your stories? So let's just go back to our page. So I've said make your word inviting here. So I need to tweak it again. Make things happen. Make your word inviting. So let's just this one, make your word instead, so that we won't have make in 2 places. So we just say bring people into your world. So remember I said this originality I wrote here, I will include it, I will write something about it in when I'm writing my introduction. So let me just highlight my main points. So let me use first heading 1. So let me just use bullet points. Let me use the bullet list. Oh, sorry, Control Z. I need to highlight this again. So I'll just come here with. So if I still want to flesh it out, make the whole content robust, under this each point, I can have another headings again, depending on the type of content I'm writing. And when it comes to writing, once it's more than 1,000 words, it's a long form content. So so this is where I will be fleshing out my points. So I just want to make it bold. So this is my introduction. This is where my introduction will be. This is where my conclusion will be. So every other step of the process, I'm done creating my outline here. I've listed my headings. I didn't do any subheadings. So I've been picking what will be my intro and my conclusion. So my outline is, you can say, is ready. So the next thing I need to do is to write. The next step is to flesh everything out. So I'll go to all these to the pages I've opened. I'll read it, digest it, and now come back here and write it in my own words. And like I said earlier, if I have any idea before about how to write a compelling story, I'll just put it there so that my content will be original. It's not right for me to just come here and I'll now copy all this thing here and I'll now rewrite it. And there are some tools that some bloggers, they will just copy it and they will just change a few things. No, it doesn't work that way. It's plagiarism, and It's an offense. Even Google will even penalize you for doing that. But because I don't have time to just be reading everything now and now rewriting, this is where we'll stop the step-by-step process tonight. And when you are writing your own, when you are writing yours, you just adopt everything, all the strategies I've shared, you leverage the tools to create your own content. We don't have much time to be doing all that tonight.
Seen and heard what she has been saying up until now. Is that correct? Please, our time is fast spent. If you've been following what she has been saying up until now, please drop some emoji in the comment section. Let me be sure we have people that have been following. If you've been following what she has been saying up until now, please. All right, great, great. Please drop the emojis, bring me more emojis. Let me be sure. Remember, one of the things she said is that there is no originality in replicating someone else's writing style. Developing a unique style takes time. Tap into your creativity and allow yours to evolve, right? Now, what we try to do is walk you through all the necessary information you need to know. Then we tried showing you, because of some of the challenges we faced and time being fast spent, we couldn't go into adding flesh into the content. But at least we walked you through the research process, the creating of the outline. So that stuff she did there is she has created the outline. The next thing she would have done is to start writing the information that will occupy each session of the outline. And before you are done, you would have gotten your 500, 1,000, or any number of content. Supporting resource we would send with regards to this same topic, that would also help you as the case may be, so that when you're attending to your assignment, you have the necessary resources to deal with it. So before she's back to take question and answer, because that is the next stage we're going to, I want to take a minute to introduce you guys, or introduce you guys again to FastHire, the people organizing this training for you, right? FastHire, like I said in the introduction I did, is a career service brand. We offer services such as interview coaching or interview preparation, CV writing, cover letter writing. We optimize people's LinkedIn accounts, and that is why we're able to provide that free tutorial teaching you how to optimize your own LinkedIn. So we also help people who are trying to study abroad, prepare their personal statements and what have you, academic CVs. So please do well to reach out to us if you need our services. If you know people who need our services, this is one way you can support us. Also, connected to our social accounts, please do well to interact with us. Is the only way you can also support us, or is one way you can support us. So even if you think you do not need a service at the moment, please engage with our posts. It will help the algorithms show it to people who need it, or there might also be people in your timeline who need our services. So please do well and help us, connect with us, share our posts, recommend us to people who need our services. And that is one way you can support us and ensure that what we are doing, we can continue doing it and also help other people. Here is for our interview coaching service. If you do need it or have anybody who needs it. So, Madam Bola, are you set for the Q&A session?
Yes, I'm ready. Bring it on.
Okay, so if you have questions, please indicate with your with the reaction. Please raise your hand so that we can take the Q and the questions, and she can answer. If there's something we didn't miss or you're not clear about, please bring forward your questions so that she can address them quickly. Please, if you have questions, use the reaction buttons now, raise your hand so that we can take your questions and provide answers. So remember, there is a task, there is an assignment following this class. So ensure that you understand clearly what she has been teaching so that when you're giving the assignment, you do not fumble, right? So please, questions, let's have them. Let's have them. Our time is fast spent. Please use the reaction, not comment section. There's there's a way to raise your hand. Use the reaction. You should see a reaction button. If you're using your phone, I think it's easy to see that. Do we have questions? Is anybody with question? Okay, Ogochukwu, who else has question? Please, if you have question, please, let's go. Who are the people with questions? Please be quick. Let's do this. Okay. I want to believe it's only Ogochukwu that has question. If you have question, please raise your hand now so that we can see you. Okay. Simi has question. Who else has question? Who else has question? Please check yourself now. Is there something? Was there a concept you weren't clear about? Who has questions? Okay. So I think I've given enough time. Ogochukwu, let's have your question.
So, thank you for the opportunity. And today's section was actually, was I and all. But question is not per se from the concept she talked about today. But then I was just curious, like, what is a newsletter and how do one write a newsletter? Like the structure, how, the format, how is it supposed to be? That's the question.
Okay, great. Madam Bola, please take it from here.
Okay, when it comes to a newsletter, it's just okay, most times newsletters are sent via email. So maybe you have an organization, you are running your business. So people that are your users that are following you, you send it to them and you send it from time to time. So it can include news about your product. It can be an analysis. So that is how it works. So you ask that how can you create a newsletter? So one way to create newsletter is that to get a steady stream of content to write about. So you can just go to social media, look for inspiration there, or maybe some newsletter you've shared in the past. So there are tons of ideas there. You can even visit your company's website, the content you've written in the past. You can check the comment section. It's just a report. For instance, now maybe you subscribe to, okay, maybe Mr. Richard Brand, he has a newsletter that is share information from time to time via email. Maybe it can be weekly, it can be once in a month, and it can be different kind of information. So that is how newsletter, that's how it works. Please let me know if I've answered your question.
Yes, ma, you've answered my question, ma. Thank you so much.
Okay. So that's another, writing it is another ball game entirely. So you need to know how you write email copies. So that's another type of writing entirely, and we didn't even discuss that tonight.
Okay,
So
ma.
please, can
Thank
we?
you so much,
Okay,
ma.
it's a pleasure.
Okay, Oluwadara Simi, let's have your question.
Good evening. Thank you so much for tonight's class.
It's a
My
pleasure.
question is, Yes, ma'am. My question is based on the writing voice and writing tone. So I want to
Okay.
ask if it's possible to, you said our voice and our tone reflects our personality. So
Yes.
the question I want to ask is um personality in how does it relate to our writing? Like, is it the personality you're talking about? Is it like our personality, like the way, am I a strict person, or are you talking about after I've planned my writing, so the kind of way I want it to be? Do I want it to appeal to people as if I'm sad, or I want it to appeal to them like I'm having a happy mood? So I don't know if you can just buttress the point on the voice and tone a little bit,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you for your question. So when it comes to voice and tone, if you remember, I said you need to, if you are working for a brand, you are not right. If you are writing for fun, that is a different thing entirely. Now we are talking about writing for your clients, writing for a brand. So at times, some brand they already have a style guide. Some they are so serious you can't even crack joke in your content. Some are professional, some are they are formal, they are strict. Maybe you are talking to a group of for their audience are professors. So some audience you can be friendly, you can be fun, you can crack jokes. Some audience you can be emotional. Okay, for instance, now maybe your company made a mistake and they now want to apologize, or maybe they share wrong information. You can't, that's not the best time to be sharing jokes or to be funny. You don't try to be humorous in that kind of situation. You adopt a serious tone. You are apologizing. You don't if you are apologizing, if you are talking and you are apologizing, you don't start laughing, you get. So you have to, number one, consider the audience you are relating with. Number two, what goal do you want to achieve? So at times, considering those factors will determine the kind of voice voice or tone that you will adopt. So please let me know if I've answered your question.
Yes, ma, you did. Thank you, ma.
Okay, it's a pleasure. Thank you. So do we have any other question? Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody that's been present for today's class. Thank you, Madam Bola, for taking our time to be here. Just before we go, I think here is your task. So let's maybe she would explain the task before I give my announcement, and then we call it an evening. So, Madam Bola, take it away.
Okay, so for tonight's class, I have a few tasks for everyone. So the first thing is that I mentioned some keyword research tools. So you can just take one or two, just a few of them, and you use it to generate 10 relevant keywords on a topic of your choice. So for instance, maybe you want to talk about how to boost your creativity. Okay, you want to talk about creativity. So you carry that creativity, you take one keyword research tool, you take one of these keyword research tools, maybe Google Word keyword planner, answer the public, any one of them. You put it there and you use it to generate 10 relevant keywords on that topic. Once you are done with generating that keywords, you will now take one out of those 10 relevant keywords and enter it into any content idea generator tool. And I mentioned some tools you can use to generate content ideas apart from Google. So we have Quora, we have Reddit, we have social media platforms, you have YouTube. And let me tell you something, as you are generating these ideas, you still see some related content ideas there. So I will advise that you can be keeping those if that's what you want to write about. or if that is what your niche is about, you can just be keeping it somewhere. Maybe create a Google spreadsheet. Just be putting it there so that each time you are not going to be searching fresh content ideas again. So you take one of these the one of those relevant keyword, you put it into the content idea generator tool. You will now create another 5 topic ideas from there. Once you are done creating those topic ideas, you will now sit down and look at those 5 topic ideas. Which one can you write on? So you will now write a 300 to 500 word article using the elements and strategies I highlighted in this class. Once you are done writing, Mr. Richard will tell you where you submit that one. So that's that about the task.
Okay, very well explained. So your tax for this class, and this usually your tax are meant to be submitted a day or 12 p.m. before the next class. So the reason is because we have to review your assignments, give you corrections where necessary, and then get you ready for the next class, because we don't want you carrying over the assignment for one class into the other class. Remember, like I said, this is a period where you're going to sacrifice, you're going to put a lot of work. So she has already explained how to do number 1 and 2. Number 3, we've already showed you sample of how to do that. And we're not even asking for much. We're just saying, okay, try churn out 300 words or 500 words. Most of you already write social contents that are more than 500 words. So this should also be easy peasy. Now, here's the email where all of you are to submit your assignments. So, and ensure that, or take note that all your assignments, you should maintain the single image thread you started with. So for instance, as you're sending this assignment today, the assignment for next class should be sent under this particular mail thread you are starting now, right? So don't send this assignment separately. Tomorrow you're sending another assignment, you send it separately. Maintain that mail thread. All your assignments until this training is over should henceforth be under that particular mail thread that you're going to send it through. So I have dropped in the comment section the mail. Please copy it out now. Please copy it out now. I repeat again, please copy it out now. Are we doing that? Please leave a response in the comment if you're copying it out. Copy it out now. Copy it out now. Are we doing that? Okay, Unity said yes. Who are the other people? Please leave in the comment section. Done. Who else is copying it? Who else is copying it? Please copy it out now. I want to see your comments. If you're copying it, please drop your comments. You're copying it, drop your comments. Great, great. Who are the people remaining? Copy out the email. That is where you send all your assignments, right? This is easy peasy. You can just go to answer the public for number 1. Whatever keyword you're thinking, just type it there, search. It will just generate. You can just pick 10. That makes number 1 easy. Similar with number 2. Then number 3, you can just pick one of those titles and write a short word. The content must not be perfect. We will correct you and guide you along the process. So remember that there are a lot of you in this training, and we need a lot of time to attend to your assignment. Don't be among the people that will submit late and we will not have time to treat your assignment, because if you can't treat it, we will not give you positive or enough review for you to know where to improve on or where not to improve on. So feel free to pick whatever topic you decide. We're not deciding the topics for you. Your writing challenge, a lot of you did not do anything today. In order to avoid a situation where, no, please, somebody is now, Melody, the assignment is not for social media, please. Just send your assignments to the mail. The assignment should be sent to the mail. This is not for social media. The email, your content writing training, and every assignment you have in this training should come under that thread. Please and please. For your content writing challenge is different. That one still continues. You will still put your content up however you want it. They are different, yes. Nafisat, the assignments are different from the writing challenge. Writing challenge is to help you gain social media visibility. Assignment is to help you build your discipline and your knowledge in the doing and in the practice of what we are teaching you. For your content writing challenge, is more to help you gain visibility, right? Okay, remember in the first class I said the secret to blogging is to get eyeballs to your contents, to your website, and then you can monetize that eyeball. So that is what we're also trying to teach you. All right, so I think I was saying something before I saw your question. I was talking about the writing challenge. Please don't, because a time will come, the what's it called? The writing challenges you've missed will end up hurting you. The writing challenges you've missed will end up hurting you. Please don't be in a situation where you will say, had I known. Try as much as you can to remain consistent. If no matter how it is, try and put out something a day. Try and put out something. It could even be what is happening around you. Write it. If it could be the situation you had with the bus conductor, write it. The reason is because even in real life, you will have scenarios where either if you are a content writer or you have clients hiring your service, some days you don't feel happy. Some days you're not in the mood and you have to deliver content. So ensure that you are in the right place at the right time and you have developed the discipline to write whether you're happy or not happy. So that is part of the reason for the writing challenge and all of this. And some people are not using the hashtag. I've not seen your content. I do not know you. So that time you'll be saying, but I have not seen your content. Ensure if you're putting out content, you're using the right hashtag. For those who have not optimized their LinkedIn effectively or properly, we sent resources to help you on that. Please do the needful. Do the needful. The replays for these classes, whenever you get it, go back to them. There are some things, maybe network, something here or there. Go back to it. Take your time, educate yourself again, learn and improve. So what again am I missing out? Just a minute. Let me be sure I'm covering everything that we need. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I think that is all. People who are not yet connected to me on LinkedIn, there is no way I can support you. For people who are connected to me, you can agree that either in one way or the other, I have met you in your DM or replied to your comment, and I have said, oh, do this like this, do this like that. If I've ever done that to you, please. For Unity, okay, now, so here's what we're saying. For Unity, I don't think I've seen your post. So are you sure you're using the hashtag? Because the only way I can see your post is if I am seeing your hashtag. For people who have been doing it and have been using hashtag, if I've ever commented on your post or messaged you or guided you on something, just say yes, you have. So I don't know why I'm not seeing your post. Have you also, for Unity, have you also commented on other people's own? Because if you have commented on other people's posts, they should comment on yours or interact with you. Exactly. So you can see all the people who I have been engaging with. And so I don't know why I'm not. Ensure you're using the right hashtag. I don't even know if you're using the right hashtag. So, but ensure you're using the right hashtag. I don't also know if you're connected to me on LinkedIn. So these are some of the things that can be the reason you get, because I cannot come to I'm trying to send you a message and your DM is locked because we're not connections on LinkedIn. So the emphasis again, ensure you're connected to me and I can guide you properly. what again am I supposed to bring out? So everyone, when you make a post a day, please check the hashtag and do well to interact with other people also going through the challenge and support yourself as the case may be. What again am I missing? So that is it. I also made mention of our services and how you guys can support us. So finally, please sign in right now, your name, the class, and today's date. Take a screenshot. Please don't lose these screenshots I've been telling you to take. We would need them. You don't want to be found wanting. So everybody sign in now, sign in now. Your name, today's class is class 2, and today's date. Do that, take a screenshot. So please do that, take a screenshot. Please save those screenshots. The day we need them would come. Your name, class, dates, take a screenshot. So while you're doing that, I also noticed there are some people that are involved in other writing challenge. Well, why that is good, why that is important for you, I do not want a situation where our tax or our foundation is being conflicted or mixed up. So please, if you're doing Fast IR's writing challenge, maintain your content. If you're creating content for Fast IR writing challenge, please maintain that content for Fast IR writing challenge. Please and please don't mix it up. If you have been doing that, if you've been missing hours with another, please just discontinue doing that. Our content, the things we're looking at for is quite different or are quite different. So please don't mix it up. For us, you just need only the hashtag Faster Content Writing Challenge. Don't try mixing up too many hashtags and confuse the algorithm. So that's that for that. So please do your sign in. If you've not signed in, do your sign in right now. Do your sign in right now. Do your sign in right now. Our next class will be on Saturday instead of Friday. I know your, what's it called? Your schedule says Friday, but we will not be able to have it on Friday because because our facilitator for that day is a Sabbatarian, and the person will not be able to be available for that class on Friday because it clashes with their timing. So the only time available for them, the time is to be adjusted to Saturday. So Saturday 8 p.m. instead of Friday 8 p.m. Please, hope we've taken note of that. Tomorrow we're having a training. This is independent of you guys, how to apportion your income. So it's 8 p.m. So it's also by us, but it's different from this training. So I've put the flyer in the comment section. I'm leaving the link for people who are interested to learn how to apportion their income. Please register for it and so that you can be a part of it. So like I said, the way you can support us in FastIR is to please try and engage with our company content. Please support us, share our content, and help us get people recommend our services. Thank you so much. So for next class, this is what we're going to be talking about in the next class, how to discover your writing niche. While Madam Bola was talking, you remember she was saying something about the topic she was giving wasn't really her area. You get, so that is one thing you need to understand about content writing. In content writing, people have different areas. There are people who like educational content. There are people who like business content. There are people who like relationship content. There are people who like money related, investment related. There are people who like to talk about Bitcoin or write about Bitcoin. You get all of those things. So in the next class, we're going to be discussing all these these different niches, how profitable they are, and how you can also discover which one is ideal for you, right? You're going to learn which one are the top earners and how you can know which one will be good for you to go into. So I don't know if you guys are excited about the next class. So if you're excited about the next class, please let me see your comments that you are excited and you're ready for the next class. All right, so that is all we have for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope we have all signed in and we have taken our attendance. Please take a screenshot of your attendance. For
So
people who
please,
will be
I have a question. Sorry to interrupt you.
we're done with questions. So
It's not regarding the class, it's about the writing challenge.
okay.
Okay, my question is, I have two questions actually. The first one is, when is the writing challenge ending? Is it on Saturday, or are we supposed to write on Sunday? And the hashtag, are we just supposed to use the fast hire writing challenge hashtag, or we can use other hashtag related to what we wrote?
I think I just talked about it while I was even commenting now. I said just use only the hashtag FastHire Writing Challenge. Don't mix up other hashtags, just only that hashtag. I already answered that one. For the writing
Oh,
challenge, who knows, who has the answer to the writing challenge? I just want to know if others know.
Okay, the
Who
writing is every day. We write every day.
okay, for how
It's
many days?
yeah.
for 30 days. 30 days.
All right. So that's thank you so much, Simi. It means you have been following. So the writing challenge is a 30 days writing challenge. So 30 days, you're going to be writing, creating content for 30 days. So for those of you on Facebook who also wish to share your content on Facebook and tag us, please feel free. We are going to engage with you as much as we would engage with you on LinkedIn. But of course, LinkedIn is our area of tracking, but we would also support you from Facebook if you are creating on Facebook. I know a couple of people, I think Hamza, there's a Mohammed. I've not seen him in class today. So Mohammed is also doing part of his challenge on Facebook. So uh, so if you are doing on Facebook too, we would be there with you. Okay, I've seen you, Mohammed. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. We would try and see. Hope you took screenshots of your assignments. Please, here is your assignment. Take the screenshot of your assignments. Please take the screenshot of your assignments. We will try and see how we can provide you other support resource materials to aid you in your assignments. Thank you so much and good night, everyone.